Major signing incoming that truly should change everything for the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks at the time of this recording are 8-16 after an embarrassing loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder last night. But prior to that loss, the Dallas Mavericks were on a 3-game win streak where they looked completely different from the Dallas Mavericks that we saw at the beginning of the season. And from the beginning of the season till now, the Dallas Mavericks have gone through a lot of changes. After the firing of Nico Harrison, we finally put a proper point guard in the lineup. We let Cooper Flagg play his natural position. Anthony Davis is playing the 5. Klay Thompson's coming off the bench, and that resulted in a lot of changes to the entire makeup of this team, where we did finally see some success. But over the last 3 wins that we did have, there's one constant throughout those 3 games that every Mavericks fan is talking about, and that is Ryan Nembhard, our undrafted 2-way rookie, who is outperforming every single point guard on the roster, and with a report that came out just yesterday, finally highlights exactly what it is that the Dallas Mavericks have decided to do when it comes to their future in Ryan Nembhard. But unfortunately, it won't be as easy as fans think. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the reports about Ryan Nembhard, the Dallas Mavericks. How can we secure our future with the young point guard? And how hard or easy would that be? But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we're currently sitting at 23,560 subscribers. The channel is booming. We're growing by the day. And if you want to be a part of the best Mavericks channel on this side of YouTube, go ahead, hit that sub button. I'd appreciate it greatly. But the Dallas Mavericks did find some success just recently after beating the Clippers, beating the Nuggets, beating the Heat. The team did look different, and even though we lost to the Thunder last night, they're the best team in the league. It is what it is. There's 20 other teams, or there are at least 20 other games where other teams also lost to the Thunder, so I'm not too upset by that. You get over it, you move on. We play the Rockets tonight, but there has been somewhat changes to how this team has been performing, at least how they're playing. And one of the biggest changes and one of the biggest reasons for that is the proper use of a point guard. And we did see that a little bit before our winning streak where we had Brandon Williams in the starting lineup, which changed a lot from what we saw with Cooper Flagg playing point guard or even D'Angelo Russell playing point guard. But then we made some more changes, and we decided to put Ryan Nembhard in the starting lineup, and that truly changed everything for the Dallas Mavericks. Our offense looked better than we've ever seen all season long without sacrificing a lot from our defense. Ryan Nembhard being a shorter guard, a lot of people point out how he would be a defensive liability, but when you watch him, he's actually putting in effort, and he's not fouling that much either. If we take a look right here, this was before the Thunder game, but Mavs are way better when Ryan Nembhard is a starting point guard. And as a starting point guard, we are 3-1, 120.5 points per game for the Mavericks while shooting 50% from the field and 29 assists per game. And every other point guard, we were 5-14, 109.5 points per game, shooting 44% from the floor and only 23.8 assists per game. That is night and day versus Nembhard starting and every other player or point guard that we had starting in the point guard position, with the only loss with Ryan starting was against the Lakers, where that was the first start to things changing. We lost that game against the Lakers, then we played the Clippers the next day, and that's when our winning streak started. And it really truly was thanks to Ryan Nembhard. He broke records, he set records, and then he broke those records again. Over the 3-game winning streak, Ryan Nembhard tallied up 27 assists and only 2 turnovers. Ryan Nembhard is the real deal, and he's showing it on a nightly basis. The fact that he is an undrafted rookie should be illegal. There's got to be some rule out there that you can't get a player of that caliber on this cheap of a contract, but hey, I'm not truly complaining because it benefits us, and I'm all for it. But if we want to continue with what we got, Nembhard brothers, because he's got a brother, Andrew, over there in Indiana, have very similar numbers when they're both starting. Andrew Nembhard is averaging 17.5 points per game, 1.9 rebounds, and 6.2 assists when he's starting, while Ryan Nembhard's averaging 17.7 points, 2 rebounds, and 5.7 assists per game when he starts. And the reason why I wanted to show you this is that Ryan is the younger brother to Andrew. And if already in his rookie year, although he did play a few years in college, if he is already looking exactly like his brother this early in his career, sky is the limit for Ryan. I did at one point want to get his brother Andrew as well, just have both Nembhards, wouldn't really hurt. But looking at the way he plays now and where he is in his current development, I'd argue that we have the better Nembhard brother right now, knowing that the future is only going to get better for him. He's playing alongside Cooper Flagg, which looks like absolute money for this team. Two rookies who took on the Denver Nuggets, took on Jokic, and won. That was absolutely amazing. And we know there's better games ahead of us, but we know for a fact we have to secure the future of Ryan Nembhard. He is on a two-way contract, and he is a restricted free agent, so we're not too worried about losing him to free agency. We do own his rights, so we do have that going for us. But we do want to make sure that we get on it sooner than later and don't want to drag your feet on it and unfortunately have another situation very similar to Jalen Brunson. A lot of Mavericks fans have brought that up, that they don't want that to happen, but it does look like the Dallas Mavericks do know what they're doing. Let's take a look right here. Mark Stein reports that the Mavs have already committed to converting Ryan Nembhard to a standard NBA contract as soon as they can. They do, however, need to clear enough money to be able to give him a multi-year deal so he doesn't hit restricted free agency this summer. Unfortunately, it does not look like we will get that done before free agency, which means we're not going to lose him for nothing. It's restricted free agency, which means we can match any offer sheet that any team offers Ryan Nembhard. Knowing he's an undrafted rookie, knowing that he's playing very well for us, he will attract some suitors, I can imagine. Nothing that we can't pay right out. We do have a few players on expiring contracts that I think we should gladly let go. You got D'Angelo Russell, you got Dante Exum, who Dante's not even playing. D'Lo has been playing better as of late. There's a few other players as well. So you could free up some cap space to get Ryan Nembhard on a standard NBA contract. But for all of those out there that are saying, we got to waive Dante, we got to waive D'Lo, we got to make room for Ryan right now, he deserves it, I agree with you. But it just isn't that easy. With these salary caps that the NBA has on these teams, it is very, very hard to maintain teams, to maintain and pay players, that a lot of teams have to make sacrifices somewhere. We saw over the summer where the Dallas Mavericks made a very, very bold decision and stretch waiving Omax to sign Dante Exum, where that unfortunately bit us in the butt, as Dante Exum is out for the entirety of the season, and Omax is still going to be paid by the Dallas Mavericks over the next 3 years, which is the reason why it's hard for us to get Ryan on a contract. If we take a look right here, I had to explain it really quick on Twitter. This is the best way to look at it, but the Dallas Mavericks can't easily waive Dante Exum because they are hard capped at the second apron, meaning cutting him wouldn't open enough salary cap space to convert Ryan Nembhard to a standard NBA contract due to the team having to absorb his contract. However, Ryan Nembhard is a restricted free agent, so even if we do go into the summer without converting, we can match any offer sheet to keep him, which would be the smart thing to do. And I assume the Dallas Mavericks will do the smart thing, and I know there's probably shame on me for assuming us to do anything smart, but from what we all see, I mean, Stevie Wonder could also see and tell you that Ryan is worth keeping. The assists, the way the offense opens up, spacing is so much better with Ryan. Guys are getting good looks. Klay Thompson, aside from the Thunder game, has had amazing looks over those 3 games that we were winning. The threes were falling all over, not just Ryan Nembhard, not just Klay. Everybody has been hitting their threes. The other day against the Heat, we shot over 50% from 3, and majority of these threes have been coming from amazing looks from Ryan Nembhard. And obviously being a two-way undrafted player, the defense isn't going to give you a lot of respect, but he's going to command that respect. Over the next several games, I expect teams taking him very, very serious. His name's getting out there. People know who he is. People see what he's doing. The records that he's breaking, the records that he's setting, and then breaking again are absolutely amazing. But maybe, just maybe, the rules may have to change. If we do remember right after draft night, Bill Simmons, and I agree with you to a degree, but Bill Simmons calls for NBA draft rule change after Dallas Mavericks pick up talented Ryan Nembhard. At the time, people were like, Bill, what are you talking about? But no, Bill knew what he was talking about. It was an absolute steal that we let the player who led all of college basketball in assists to go undrafted and take a cheap little two-way contract. I guess that was the last gift Nico Harrison gave us before things look as they look now. But in all seriousness, Ryan Nembhard does deserve a standard NBA contract. The way he's been playing right now, I know Jason Kidd has the full trust in him. That's why he's starting. And the track record we have with two-way players, when we see Brandon Williams from last year, even Kessler Edwards, who isn't on our team anymore, but he has played very well. He deserves a contract from somebody, but we know how important these two-way players are when it comes to the health of this team, making sure that we are somewhat deep for the most part, but players like Ryan Nembhard, just like Brandon Williams, can play for a standard NBA contract, and he himself deserves one. But let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think that Ryan should and will get a standard NBA contract? Do you think that he'll get converted before the deadline, or do we have to wait till free agency? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We can have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. And as always, y'all, take care, drink water. Peace.